As you might have seen in the title, today we're doing an MMA Media tier list. I've got a bunch of YouTube and media channels on the outside of the screen. I'm going to pick one at random and place them on the list based on where I think they sit, on whether they're based or soy. Stick around for this one, guys. We're going to have some fun with it. It ain't too serious. Let's get straight into it. First off, we have Brendan Schaub, Captain CT himself. This is a good one to get first up. Honestly, it's hard to place this guy. I think, he's had some base moments, whether it's calling out the UFC for having an all African American casting casting desk, or whether it's calling out Dana White for being his Eskimo brother, calling out Nate Diaz to scrap one-on-one. What are you gonna do, Nate? You gonna volume punch me, motherfucker? This man, look, he's had some moments. He's pretty silly too, though. He'll fake some shit. He cheats on his missus too. we got some proof of that. You know what? Love him or hate him, he's fucking... He not intentionally funny, but the dude's pretty based. We're gonna put Schaub straight in B. B for brain damage, B for Brendan Schaub, B for based. It fits. Let's move on. Next up, we have the Schmo. This guy, well, what can we say about the Schmo? He hasn't really got any opinions on anything. The man just sort of does his own thing, which is sweet. MMA fighter interviews, that's about it. Apart from that, congratulations on Helen Yee. I think we can all say that for the Schmo. Good on you, man. You done one for the MMA community there. So, look, Schmo, you're going right in C tier, man. He don't hurt nobody. He's cool. I don't really watch his stuff that much anymore. Sort of once you've seen 20 of his videos, you've sort of seen them all. But he's doing his thing. Schmo's got him in C tier. Next up, we have Dan Hardy from Full Reptile MMA. Alright, where's this lad going? Dan Hardy, well, look, old mate had some base moments in the UFC as well. He got fired for an altercation or an incident with a female employee of the UFC. Apparently Dan wasn't too nice. If I remember correctly, it was a few years ago now, he called her something along the lines of a fat, miserable bitch. Something like that. Look, fucking... For a guy who, he was built on being a bit of a savage, knockouts, wearing his fucking red punk mohawk as a fighter. The guy became pretty silly after leaving the UFC, apart from that moment I just discussed. He wasn't too happy when old MMA Guru went and put his wife, Veronica, in the hottest tier list for female UFC fighters. He had a big sook about it. He had a big bitching session with Mark Goddard on his channel where they got together and, discussed the tea for an hour with each other and gossiped and talked shit about MMA Guru, only to then backstep and delete it like pussies. So, look, we've got a mix of base and soy here from old fucking Dan Hardy. We might put him... He's British too. British soy, brings his soy levels up, so we'll put him D tier. D for Dan Hardy, D for what his favourite thing. But moving on. Next up we have Anthony the Lionheart Smith. Oh wait, sorry, wrong one there. Anthony the Lionheart Smith and Michael Bisping. Well, look, we put these two together. It wouldn't really be fair to put Anthony Smith by himself. Because, look, let's be real, it's Michael Bisping's fucking podcast. Lionheart's just a second act. So, look, Bisping, especially as a fighter, base as fuck. About as base as it gets. He said some shit that got some people mad over the years. A lot of people mad, whether it's fucking... I think he spat on the Cuban flag, or burnt the Cuban flag, or fucking threw it to the ground, something to piss off Yoel Romero. And then, he said that Jesus wasn't real. just to get under the skin of a dude who was fighting. He said some shit over the years, old Bisping, just get on people's skins. And you got him and Luke Rockhold after he just knocked him out. Hey, buddy, you okay, buddy? After he tried to shake his hand. So, look, based as a fighter, once he left fighting, he got into UFC commentating, and it sort of died down from there. He's he's a company man now. He's sort of shilled out for the company. He's a family man, so I get it. You see behind the scenes every now and then, there's moments of Bisping, well, that's fucking gay, isn't it? Like, having his moments. So, look, Bisping is definitely the more based of the two. Bisping by himself, if he was in the UFC, would be probably higher up. But we're going to stick Bisping. They're going to go together, but if I was just to have Bisping now, he'd be in the B tier, not just because it's B for fucking Bisping, even though I've done a couple of those now. We got Lionheart Smith with him, and Mr. On Paper, man, he's not that good. While I was down in the corner of the cage and he was knocking my teeth out, I was just thinking, like, he's not that good, man. And I think that was my first mistake. I went in there and I thought, this guy's not that good, I've got him. And meanwhile, he's getting his teeth knocked out, he's curling up in a ball, he's not fighting back, he's just taking punishment. But, look, the man has some opinions. Definitely suffered a lot of fucking brain damage and has some pretty retarded opinions, but he will stick to what he says. So, look, that's pretty based. We're going to put him... Yeah. They're more based than Schaub. Nah, Schaub would never ever call out... They would never ever call out anything diversity or anything like that. Fuck that. Okay, he's going B tier. Alright, next up we got Keon Kamura. Sometimes I just think that UFC fans are kind of racist. Mr. Keon Kamura here. Look, he's one of the first YouTubers I watched for MMA Media back in the day. Or one of the main ones, sort of around that time anyway. These whole series of how good was, GSP actually, how good was, Anderson Silva, all those sort of old goats, how good were they really, doing career recaps. Liked his content. I actually had to check to see if he was still doing YouTube. I haven't seen this guy in a while. He sort of shifted into some more soy topics like, sucking about racism for black fighters when, some of the most loved and celebrated fighters in UFC and MMA history are black. What do we got? Shawn Jones, who, despite being a wife beater, a ped cheat, criminal, fucking go on the list, he's celebrated and liked by a majority of fans and was always liked before those. Then you got another ped cheat in Anderson Silva, but, one of the GOATs as well. Two GOATs of the sport, arguably. Anderson Silva, loved by fans, even after being a ped cheat. Then you got Israel Adesanya, one of the, the biggest stars we've had in recent years as well. The man, his content started to dip and he had to go the soy route. The next up, he was complaining about having to work as a dishy. As if, fucking, there's not thousands of other people doing the same job. It's a pretty standard job, brother. Jesus. Talk about hard times. Alright. Yeah, he's going soy. He's more soy than Dan Hardy. He might even go E tier. Yeah, he's going E tier. He's not the most soy on that E tier, though. He will move down the list, but he's going E tier for now. Next up, we have the MMA Guru. Now, this man, look, there's not much to say about this man. He's a problem, alright? This man is a hindrance on the sport. He's a stain on the sport. He's got his own category reserved for him. He needs to be removed. This man is a problem. He's too soy. He's everything wrong with the sport. If this man stays in the MMA media, in MMA YouTube, around the sport, we will have no sport, because it's all going to be soy. Alright? Look at this man. It fits him perfectly. F for fatty, F for failure, F for fairy, F for fucking ugly. Just kidding. This man, if you know MMA Guru, you know this man is base as hell. He's going up the top here. Special. It says fits him. So super based. He's also special. He rides a short bus. You know. So it fits him for a few reasons there. But if you've seen this man's content, you know Guru says some pretty risky shit, especially living in the UK. This man could end up locked up at any point. If you got wrong think over there, if you are thinking the wrong thing, you can be arrested. If you've seen the videos, you know. So look, this man, he's in a league of his own in terms of baseness, especially for where he lives. So we got Guru up the top here. Next up, we have... Oh, shit. What's happened here? It ain't working. Okay. The Weighing In Podcast with Big John McCarthy and Josh Thompson. Alright, these fucking guys. I used to watch these guys a fair bit back in the day too. Until they got involved with Bellator too much and became shills. All you'd hear about is fucking... Man, just Patricio Pitbull. He's just... You know, if he goes up against Volkanovski, there's just going to be a new featherweight champion. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's him or whether it's fucking, you know, any of the fighters they had as champions. Gegard Mousasi, man, he's just, you know, don't get me wrong, fucking weapon, but, you know, they're saying he's by far the best on the planet, and come on, man. It wasn't just like one or two guys, it was any of their champions. They had Ryan Bader, they were talking about being the best heavyweight on the planet, while fucking Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou, they were all around at the time. Like, come on, dude. He wasn't even the best light heavyweight on the planet. Fuck. But, look, it is what it is. That doesn't really make them soy. I get it, they're partners in the company. But, you know, on topics in general, if you watch them, they do stick the PC path a lot of the time. They are pretty soy, despite being fighters. Also, just gets annoying always hearing Big John McCarthy telling you, you know, I was there when they created the rule set, back when it was first created, okay? I know. Like, okay, we get it, man. Like, fucking, you can shut up now. You know, thank you, congratulations, thanks for all you've done, now fuck off. Alright, so, look, they're going to go... Dan Hardy's more base than them. So, like, the further up the list you are, the more based you are. See, yeah, so we're going to go... I mean, well, so from C up, the more based you are, and then the further close to the ladder, the least based you are. So, Dan Hardy is definitely more based than the Weighing In Podcast. Next up, we have... Come on, you guys! It's just really on vogue, you know? I think I know what the problem is here. I think I'm getting some anti-Semitic vibes. Mr. Ariel Helwani, the man who does no wrong ever in any situation. It's always everyone else. Mr. doesn't have a problem with Dana White or a vendetta against him, despite always going after him. Now, don't get me wrong, Dana White, you know, he's no fucking angel. He deserves to get after sometimes, but this man, he cannot let it go. Because the only people who've been able to shut this man up and fucking deal with this bullshit have been Dana White and Quentin Rampage Jackson. And it's always fucking funny to watch. Rampage, his fucking big brothers bullies him. And he doesn't know how to handle it. Oh, come on, Quentin. Okay, this man... Look, I used to watch his stuff a fair bit too. I still do every now and then. I like his interviews for the most part, when he's not being a little fucking snake. Or he's not doing his backhanded, you know, methods. But, look, it's not entirely his fault. It's just who Ariel is. And we're not going to go into any more into that. But, the man's soy. He's soy. Fuck. Look at that face. I mean, come on. Sorry. See, Ariel will talk some shit, man. Like, yeah, we're going. Alright. Ariel's more base than Keon. Fuck it. Alright. Moving on now. We have the undisputed, undefeated Chael Sonnen. Uncle fucking Chael. Look, we don't even need to go into this one. You just know this man's fucking based. If you've seen any of his videos, if you've seen any of his career as a fighter in the UFC and Bellator, you know this man. He's fucking high up on the base list. Fucking Chad Chael. Moving on, we have... Welcome, you guys. It's the Weasel here. Don't get me wrong, that's probably a shit impression, but fucking... is what it is. The old Weasel. Now, this is one of the first channels I actually started watching for MMA YouTube back in the day. You know, I'd been a fan of MMA for a long time before that, but in terms of watching YouTube channels, especially consistently for MMA content, the Weasel was probably the first. This guy, like, good content. He's got his Who Really Won series. He does his pre-fight breakdowns, predictions, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go. Look, he doesn't really put his opinion too much in stuff on like political events and just sort of anything outside of fighting, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. We'll put this man in C tier with Schmo. There you go. It's your place, brother. Next up, we have Big Meaty Hooks, man. Straight to Peaches and Creamville. Lucas Tracy, noodle hair. Look at this dude. Oh shit. He looking like that fucking. He looking like Diddy Kong with noodle hair on him. Alright. Lucas Tracy. Look, he's a big fan of the MMA Guru. That's who inspired him to start his channel. He'd been watching him for years. I watch Lucas Tracy's stuff. I haven't really seen any of his live streams in a while since he sort of took a break and whatnot. I don't know if he's been doing them. The man, content's good. I don't know, how based he is if he really puts that on his channel. I don't think he does. But look, the man follows MMA Guru, has for a long time. If you follow MMA Guru, you're some level of based. You gotta be. Otherwise, you're gonna be offended and you're gonna leave. So, also the man's built. Generally, if you're pretty built, you're probably not a soy boy. So, although he's a manlet, he's like 5'7", so that also, drags him. Nah, jokes. He's not that short. I can't talk shit. I'm not anything special in height either. But here we go. We'll put him right here. Nah, he wouldn't say the shit Bisping says. See, Bisping really lifts him up here. Alright, there we go. B tier. Next up, we have Gandalf himself, Red Pill MMA. You know, I just think Ian Gary. He just sits in the corner with his wife. He held this man, the one who broke the news on Ian Gary being a corner sitter. And by that I just mean, he sits in the corner and watches his wife sleep. Make sure she's safe, and there's nothing else I mean by that. Definitely don't want any legal representatives contacting me, giving me cease and desist or anything like that. So, look, this man, he's one of the smaller channels on here. I don't know, like, you may or may not even know who he is. But Red Pill MMA, the first one to break the news on Ian Gary. He covers, a lot of MMA and fighting content. The dude puts his opinion out there. He is based. He's pretty fucking based. He ain't afraid to say what he's got to say, and he won't change his mind unless he has reason to. The man sticks to his guns, and he ain't afraid to say stuff. And he lives in the UK. Once again, another thing that lifts him up even higher because, you say the wrong thing, you'd easily get locked up there. And, you don't want to be carrying around a butter knife, in your own home to fucking, spread the butter on your bread. You could get locked up too. It's a very sorry place. Oi, mate, you got your TV licence in there? What about that butter knife? Mate, I don't see no licence for that either. That's it. Get in the fucking car, mate. Like these fellas. Alright, moving on. By the way, if you are into that sort of stuff, go give his channel a check out. Give him a like, subscribe. I say he's small, he's fucking way bigger than my channel. What have I got? 30 people, but he deserves, more people than he's got on there at the moment. Next up, we have MMA Joey. Look, this man, we're going to keep it short and sweet for this man. He struggles enough as it is, inhaling, exhaling, getting in and out of his chair, washing himself, just life in general. This man just struggles. So, look, he's as soy as it gets. This man, he's going to go left on all topics no matter what. It really doesn't matter. If you're TJ Dillashaw, let's just put it like this, as Guru's put it. If you're TJ Dillashaw and you get caught for peds, you're a drug cheat, your career meant nothing, you're a joke. However, if you're, let's say Israel Adesanya, Anderson Silva, Shawn Jones, or any other, let's just say, diverse fighter, then, oh man, it's just, you can't take his career away from him, It's just one pop or two pops. He still would be one of the greatest of all time. Meanwhile, if GSP ever popped, or when our old mate fucking Killer Shaw, when he popped, or any of those fighters, immediately their careers, trash. But that's what we'll say about this man. You know what I'm getting at there. He's going straight. He's going straight to the top. He's almost an F tier. I'll explain later why it's not. When you see who's an F tier, you should understand. There's going to be another man going in there. Next up, we have the GOAT, DJ, Mighty Mouse Johnson. This man, GOAT fighting, fucking good MMA media, good content as well. He's had MMA Guru on his podcast for interviews. He gets a fair few people on there. He's not afraid to say what he wants to say. It's his channel. He does what he wants. I got some good content on there. Training with Khabib and stuff, and going around doing MMA, to MMA gyms, and just general MMA content. It's always good. The man games a lot too. Streams. He's good to watch, man. He's fun. Get amongst him if you haven't already. But yeah, we're gonna put this fella. He's up on the base list too. Going right behind Uncle Cho, right there. That's where you belong, buddy. Moving on, we have Luke Thomas, and this is the one who, he could almost go F tier. This fella is, there's something wrong with this dude. So this guy, looking at him, I used to watch his stuff a fair bit back in the day until I got sick of his fucking bullshit. So this man, you would think I think he's like 6'7", fucking former Marine, trains BJJ, and actually that's pretty soy, but I think he's done boxing and shit too before. Like, the man, you would think by all accounts would be a Chad, would probably be pretty based, would understand, what's going on, but instead, he's a massive soy boy. This man, if he was 5'7", I guarantee you this dude would be serving Ariel, getting him coffees, fucking, booking appointments for him, being his little bitch boy. This man, take what I said about MMA Joey, and just, apply it to this man. However, he does have some good opinions on fights at times. He's not entirely trash, but he also will, he's gone the journalist route, the real journalist route, where he uses unnecessary words for the MMA community. He will just replace a perfectly fine, commonly used word with just some fucking unnecessary, over-complex, the word that we understand that just doesn't need to be there, just for no reason. Sorry guys, that's just how I talk. If you can't understand that, then maybe you just need to get educated. And he's just one of those fucking obnoxious fucking just wankers, really. Likes to think he's smarter than he is. Fucking big, fat, fucking soy boy. And yeah, he's gone there. He probably should go at the top of E, but look, the man, at least, he's a fan of the sport. He's a former Marine, and he fucking, he trains. Like, this dude's just a fucking potato. So, he's a little bit more base than old MMA Joey. Alright, look, we're getting near the end here. Who got left? We have Shawn Jones, the Scouser, mate. It's Jonesy. Look, he's going straight on the base list, like, just straight up. Yeah, he's more based than all these fellas. Probably more based than... You know what? He's probably more based than both these fellas. Yeah. And it's because he's got his own channel, no affiliations, nothing like that. Once again, you may or may not know who he is. He's probably one of the smaller channels, but, I mean, he's still around 100k, I think. Like, still a solidly big channel. Fucking way bigger than mine. Love to have a channel as big as that. But, one of the smaller channels on here. The dude covers not just MMA, he does boxing, does even celebrity fights and shit, celebrity dramas, beefs, scraps. He got a good take on it. He's pretty base, pretty funny. Get amongst him if you can. Alright, last but definitely least actually, we have Morning Combat, which, the main part of that is Luke Campbell. You'll understand why I've separated the two in just a second. So this one, there's another half, or a lesser half, maybe we'll call it a third to this one. And if you've watched Morning Combat, you know who this is. This is the one, the only Brian Campbell, who makes up the other part of this show. And this man is the worst thing in MMA. Like, by far. This man, Brian Campbell, take all the soy from Luke Thomas and then put it in a dude with fucking, 80 IQ, fucking 50% body fat. I'm pretty sure the testosterone of a castrated male, like Shawn Jones after it fails a ped test, but that's his baseline. And a dude who just, it's almost like the kid at school who would try and follow all the trends all the time because he didn't have a mind of his own. Try and follow what all the popular kids think and what the general consensus is. Could never generate a thought of his own. Never had any personality of his own. Any complex thoughts or opinions. This guy will just go with whatever the message is, whatever the time is popular. He'll never go against the grain unless it's like, I don't know, like something that's not really against the grain. It's like, look, I just think that Shawn Jones, he's a GOAT, man. He's going to be too good for Aspinall. He's too dynamic. He's too long. He's too experienced. And Tom, I think he's going to get found out. Like some bullshit take like that. It's probably exactly what he fucking said. The man is MMA media journalist. That's what he is. He's not a fan of the sport. He's not... Like, you could replace him with any journalist from anywhere, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They'd be the exact same. And I'm glad that, there's not more media like him. At least that are big. Like, of course, there's heaps of MMA media journalists now, and they never have any interesting questions. They never have anything interesting to say or any personality these days. Back in the days, it used to be a bit better. But, yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. Look, if you disagree, let me know. If you agree, let me know. I hope you enjoyed. If you got any questions or anything or whatever, chuck them in the comments down below. We'll be doing more content. Won't do one of these probably for a while. It'll be obviously something different when we do a tier list. The next video is probably going to be a UFC pre-fight predictions, pre-card predictions. We'll be doing post-fight breakdowns, pre-fight fucking predictions and breakdowns as well. All your general MMA stuff, we'll get onto that. So look, I hope you liked. Subscribe if you can. If not, all good. Let me know why you didn't like it. Hope to see you all here next time. Have a good one.